Welcome to Passionate Takes. On this channel, we will talk about politics, sports, other hot topics around the world. A lot of time when you tune into the news media, especially the mainstream media, anytime they are talking about politics or sports, they take one side of the issue. They don't give you the holistic picture. That's why I create this channel. I want to give you my perspective on certain topics in politics, also in sports, but then you use that information to make your own informed decision. A lot of time we see in the mainstream media, whenever they talk about politics, they talk about a certain candidate, a certain elected official. Depending on the news network, they talk only about that one side. And whenever they mention somebody from the other side, it's not really equal airtime. They don't give equality of airtime to both sides so they can hear both how a conservative would view that issue or how a liberal would view the issue. But on my channel, I will always share with you what I think on certain issues in our country. Since this is the introduction to my show, we will not delve deep in all the hot topics that surround our government, surround politics. But currently right now, you know, this one person that has been in the news a lot, that's been reported by 5 of the power major news network. You know who they are: MSNBC, ABC, CBS, CNN, and Fox News. The individual that I'm talking about, I think you will know him once I mention his name: President Donald J. Trump. He's been in the news media a lot recently. On Tuesday, he posted that he was going to be arrested on Truth Social. He urged his supporter to go and protest and take our country back. As I'm coming to you now, he hasn't been arrested. And also, just to let you know, there is dissension among the ranks in Manhattan with Manhattan DA Alvin Bragg and also the grand jury. They do not know, and there are arguments about whether they should indict the former president. Okay? There are a lot of problems with the case about Michael Cohen paying hush money and paying under the advisement of Donald Trump to Stormy Daniels. I will not talk about that specific case today and delve into all the legality of that case, but I will mention it on other episodes. But that's one of the things that you hear about with President Trump. Also, he's been in the news since he had his first presidential rally in Waco, Texas. I know thousands of people were there anxiously waiting to see the former president. They had a good time. Of course, he tore into Joe Biden. His message for the American people is, you want to make America great again? Elect me as president. So we see the former presidents already hitting the campaign trail. However, on the other side, President Biden hasn't officially announced that he's going to run for president. However, his wife is adamant that he's going to run. She told news media that he's definitely going to run for re-election. He's 80 years old. Okay? Again, we're going to talk about more about politics, especially the presidential race, as other elected officials, other candidates put their name into the ring. We will talk about all these things. Also, you know what the thing about politics is, and I always, whether I'm talking to my friends or I'm talking to colleagues, the one thing about politics is everybody has an issue. Everybody has a side. Whenever we bring up certain topic, certain reform, they take a certain side because I voted for that president, or I used to vote for, I always lean, and my family, my parents, grandparents have always leaned towards certain political ideology. Therefore, I support this way of thinking. But one of the things, another reason that I want to create this channel is that I notice a lot that the younger people, the millennials, are not as concerned, and they do not speak out enough about certain things in our country. Sure, they protest, but I think they protest with not fully understanding what is at stake, what is the consequence, also what is the purpose of protesting. But for those of you who knows how whenever people come together to fight for a common cause, they want to see reform get made in certain issues, certain topic, that's when we see results really get made and things start to change for the better. And that's why this channel is here. I want to make sure that I speak for the younger generation that we are the future leaders of this country. And we have a duty to our society, to our peers, to our colleagues, to make sure we leave this country a better place for the next generation. Okay? Now we put certain leaders in place, but we also make sure we hold these leaders accountable. Because there's no reason to vote for a certain candidate if we don't believe in his or her reform, his or her vision for the country. A lot of time, these leaders, they go in there and they say, I want to improve your life, whether that's economically, health-wise, education reform. But when they actually get elected to that position, they don't make the change that we want to see get made. Whether we are talking at a local level with the mayor, or we are talking about the state level with the governor, or the federal level with the president and Congress, whenever we elect certain people, we need to hold them accountable. And on my channel, like I said, in 2024, when we have the presidential race, and we know there will be also House races, Senate races, we'll talk about these issues. Are we going to agree on every candidate, every issue? No, we're not. Okay? But I want to tell you where each of those candidates stands. Because the major news network, they would not always be completely honest in these things, give you full discretion on all these candidates. There are certain things that they hold back because they are hoping that you do not do your own research and that you would go off of what they say. And we're not going to put up with that. We are going to give you information that you can make with your wife, your husband, your family, your grandparents, your aunts, your uncle, so that you can make your decision with your family that you deem is the best moving forward. In this channel, that's what I want to bring you. We will always have a lot of laughs. You will also be entertained. You will learn information on my channel. But one of the things whenever we talk about politics, which sometimes divide us because we don't always agree on certain issues, certain candidates. But one of the things that can bring everybody together is sports. On Saturday, a lot of people are either at an arena, at a ballpark, at a stadium watching college football, or gather with friends and watching in front of a big screen. Okay? On Sunday, we know there's a lot of also NFL action on Sunday. So there are a lot of things that we can come together and agree on. In sports, how we root for a certain team, we want them to do well, okay? I will also talk to you about certain things that are going in this season in sports. Major League Baseball is getting ready to start back up. American national pastime is back. I know a lot of people in our country like to say football is now king. Baseball, to me, it will always be American national pastime. The Houston Astros, who are defending champs. Okay? I saw a lot of pundits, a lot of so-called experts have put in their picks for this year, who they think will win certain divisions, who are going to make the wild card. Also, go into this season, who will be the MVP, who will win the Cy Young for each of the league, the American League and the National League. I will not give you my prediction here on this show. I will talk more about that in another episode. But sports. As I'm talking to you about baseball, I can envision in my mind getting this image of people with their family, with their wives, at the kids, with their enjoying chicken tenders, nachos, throw back a couple of beers, having a good time at the ballpark. And it's just a great way to show future generation how we can come together after a hard day on the job, on the grind, seeing what's going on in the news, but we can go relax and have a good time with our wife or kids at the ballpark. That's just an amazing picture, and like I said, we will talk more about Major League Baseball. I want to hit briefly on the NFL. As of today, I'm coming to telling you about my introduction show. Aaron Rodgers is still a member of the Green Bay Packers. He said he went on the Pat McAfee show and said he will play this year. He won't play for the Jets, and yet they haven't given him his okay to go and be the quarterback for the Jets. He is still a member of the Green Bay Packers. Okay? We know that Aaron Rodgers is one of the top 2 quarterbacks in the NFL. He's still a great athlete. Okay? But as of right now, he is still a member of the Green Bay Packers. Okay? Whenever the trade have been officially announced, I will come to you with breaking news about Aaron Rodgers playing for the New York Jets. Also, we will talk about other topics as well, including the NBA. In the NBA, we see this year, there's just numerous teams at the top that we think are going to do well in the postseason. But let's see, once they get to the postseason, will they have that same energy, that same fervor that they had in the regular season that will help them win an NBA championship? The Denver Nuggets is an interesting team. This is a team that has the possible MVP on the team, Nikola Jokic. Let's see if he's able to capture the MVP, but more importantly, how far the Denver Nuggets will advance in the postseason. Also, on the Eastern Conference, we know the Milwaukee Bucks with Giannis. Also, Jason Tatum is with the Boston Celtics. But one team that I'm looking forward in particular is the Philadelphia 76ers, Joel Embiid and James Harden. They've done well in the regular season, haven't always been that way in the playoffs. Let's see if this year, once they enter into the playoffs, see how far the Philadelphia Sixers is able to advance. Also, we will talk about the EPL, the English Premier League. As many of you know, if you're a fan of Manchester United, I know what you're saying. And you're like, well, why have you mentioned this? Manchester United, the Glazers who own Manchester United, are currently in the process of selling the team. Okay? There are more bidders, but 2 we know of most notably. That is, one is a Qatari owner that wants to go in and buy the team. Another is Sir Jim Ratcliffe. And they haven't sold the team yet, but if you're a Man United fan, you know this year they already won 1 trophy. They are also remaining in the semifinal of the FA Cup. They are also in the Europa League. So Manchester United, under first-year manager Erik ten Hag, have a chance to win 3 trophies in his first season. I also know they're doing well in the English Premier League, so that they're qualified to play in UEFA Champions League next year. So it's a really good team this year under first-year manager Erik ten Hag. Let's see if they will have new owners. A lot of Man United fans, a lot of their supporters want the Glazers out and a new owner to come in so that they can really help the team restructure it, help it with its infrastructure, the training ground, and all this new technology so that their players, the player that they bring into the club, can be best performed on game day. Also, like I mentioned at the very beginning of the show, we will talk about other hot topics. I saw this a recent study today. Raise your hand if you like coffee. There's a recent study today out of the UK that mentioned coffee now is having a detriment to our health, because while it helps us to be more active, help us to get in the go. I know everybody, the first thing, what do they go in the morning, wake up in the morning, they may say hi to kids, they may go do other things, but one of the things that always is on the agenda is I gotta get my caffeine, I have to have my cup of coffee. So we will talk about all these hot topics. How important is caffeine to you? So, like I said, on this channel, we will have a lot of fun together. You will be informed, you will be entertained, and I just want to mention this to you. We may not always agree, and I guarantee you we won't agree on every issue. But the thing about it is this: we can share a difference of opinion, and we can respect one another, but we can also make sure our viewpoint is understood by the other side, and they are respecting that viewpoint. And when you come on my channel, you will always hear that I will give you the information, how it's perceived in the news media, and what my take is on it. But I will make sure I would answer the argument, the counter argument to what you think my take is, so that we will have a good time. Make sure you tell your family, friends, relatives, people that you are close to tune in to Passionate Takes, where we will talk about all type of issues, dealing with sports, dealing with politics, dealing with other hot news topics. Make sure you give my video a thumbs up. You hit the bell notification so every time I drop new content, you are notified. And also, you subscribe to my channel. Again, thank you for tuning into my channel. I'll see you next time.